in element, it's composed of the same type of atoms. They would be having the same size, they would be having the same color, they would be having the same shape. Since element is a pure substance
Mhm.
having the same type of atoms, so if you will break an element, so you will see that nothing new is formed. Like let's suppose I have a piece of wood, and you know wood is carbon. Wood is carbon. I have
Yes.
divided wood into four pieces. Let's suppose just like that, into four small pieces. This is also wood, that is carbon. This is also wood, that is carbon. This is also wood, and this is also wood. So I mean to say that when you will see an
Mhm.
element, when you will see an element, so you will find that everything is the same in an element. Like if you have a piece of gold, if you have a piece of gold, so in the gold
Mhm.
you will see the same kind of atoms. The color would be same, the shape would be same, also the property would be same. So that is called element. That is called element. And then um, we have different forms of elements. Like I can say atomic form and then molecular form. If you can
Mhm.
see the periodic table, element is represented by assemble.
Yes.
Element is represented by assemble. Like the symbol for sodium element is Na, the symbol for magnesium element is Mg, same goes for
Mhm.
iron, same goes for chromium, manganese, nickel, cobalt, copper, etc.
Mhm.
So simply we are going to represent elements in two ways: atomic form and molecular form. O2, N2, F2, Cl2, Br2, I2. These
Mhm.
all are diatomic elements. Like they exist, they exist in the form of two atoms. They are quite unstable when they are single. I am not supposed to write O, I am not supposed to write N, I'm not supposed
Mhm.
to write Cl, I'm not supposed to write Br, because they are unstable in single state. They are unstable in single state. They are stable
Mhm.
in diatomic state. So you need to know those elements. There are very few. There are very few. But of course,
Mhm.
you need to know which are these elements which, like you can say, exist in the form of two. Okay. And then uh, atomic form, like other than these, let me tell you,
Mhm.
F2Cl2, Br2, I2, O2, N2, O2, N2, and AT2, that is astatine, etc.
Mhm.
So these are diatomic elements. And other than this, we have sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, then we have iron, copper, cobalt, that is single, like Na, Mg, copper, Cu, Cr, Zn, Al, potassium,
Mhm.
lithium, calcium. So they are also an element, but they exist in atomic form because they are stable in their atomic state. Okay.
Mhm.
So you can see that I have given you a diagram and I am asking, "Okay, is this an element?" You will say no. Then I ask why. So you are supposed to say it consists of different atoms. Some are
Mhm.
green and some are red. So in an element, they must be the same because element consist of the same kind of atoms. If one atom is green, so all the atoms should be green. If one atom is red, so all the atoms should be red. So for pure substance, every element must have same type of particles, and interestingly, elements have the same type of particles, or you can
Mhm.
say the same type of atoms, like diamond, like gold, and copper. So they are an example of element. Okay, like diamond is made of carbon, 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 nothing other than this,
Mhm.
only carbon. So diamond is an element, I can say, because
Yeah.
it's fulfilling the condition of an element, that it consists of same kind of atoms. So it has. And then um, we have compound. So what is compound? When two or more elements are chemically joined together. When two or more elements are chemically joined together. So of
Mhm.
course, to to join together chemically, they have to react with each other. They have to react with each other. Without chemical reaction, they cannot join. Without chemical reaction, they will be joining physically. So we can separate them easily. So that should not be the compound, because compounds cannot be separated easily. That's the property of a compound. So of course there should be a chemical reaction. So the product would be the new substance. The product would be the new substance. So that's called the compound. So the main thing is that in compound, the things are chemically joined, not physically. If they
Mhm.
will be joining physically, so you will say that this is a mixture. This is a mixture, like sea water. Like
Okay.
sea water is a mixture. Why?
Mhm.
Because in seawater, water is attached with some sort of, you can say, sand, silica. So if you can filter it, so you can separate sand easily, because that's the mixture. Mixture can be separated easily. That's not a
Mhm.
chemical reaction. And if you are going to dissolve sodium chloride in water, so that will be also the mixture. It's not a compound, because you are not uh, like, first of all, it's not a chemical reaction. Like dissolving, it's not a chemical reaction. Melting, it's not a chemical reaction. Boiling, it's not a chemical reaction. Evaporating,
Mhm.
it's not a chemical reaction. Nothing new is formed. Nothing new is produced.
Yeah.
So uh, the main purpose of doing chemical reaction is that we can have the new substance. We can have the new product. Like I'm going to react H2 with O2. I'm going to react hydrogen gas with oxygen gas. So obviously, when hydrogen would be reacting with oxygen, so water will be produced. So
Mhm.
water will be produced. Since in the reactant side, I had hydrogen. In the reactant side, I had oxygen. Hydrogen is something else, oxygen is something else, but water is totally changed. The
Mhm.
composition has totally changed. In the reactant side, hydrogen was single. It's
Yeah.
just like that. It's just like that. This is H2, then this is O2, then this is water. This is called, the composition is totally changed. The
Mhm.
composition is totally changed. It was single, it is combined with, they are combined with each other. So of course I can say hydrogen was a gas,
Mhm.
oxygen was a gas, but water is a liquid. But water is a liquid. So the composition has totally changed. Yeah, this is called chemical reaction. As a result of chemical reaction, the compound is produced, not a mixture. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So when two or more elements are chemically joined together, when two or more elements are chemically joined together, in order to join chemically, they will have to react, and they will do a chemical change. So, and then the important thing is that, let's suppose you have dissolved sodium chloride in water. You have dissolved sodium chloride in water. So after mixing, after mixing, you can see
Mhm.
that they have they doesn't lost their identity. They doesn't lost their identity. They don't lost their identity. You know how that after mixing, sodium chloride is sodium chloride and
Mhm.
water is water. Like I mean to say, I have written over there, compounds have different properties as compared to elements that forms it. Like you know what it is saying? H2 reacts with O2, it forms H2O. So they are
Mhm.
saying that the property of this compound is different as compared to this and as compared to this. The properties are totally different. But if you can talk about the mixture, like like the seawater, sand is sand. It remains unchanged. Water remain unchanged because it's not a chemical reaction. Every single every single substance is going to have their identity. But in the compound, when the compound is formed,
Mhm.
the substances has lost their identity. Like hydrogen has lost its
Mhm.
identity, and oxygen has lost its identity, and of course the new product is formed, that is water. So you must know this. Okay, whenever we have a compound, so what would be the characteristics of that compound? And then mixture, the same thing as compound, the combination of two or more elements that are not chemically combined. This is called the physical combination. This is
Mhm.
called the physical combination. So in a physical combination, first of all, chemical reaction is not required. In a physical reaction, like physical attachment,
Mhm.
chemical reaction is not required. Just you have to dissolve sodium chloride in water and that's it. Nothing is needed. Like you're not supposed to provide such catalyst, you are not supposed to give some sort of heat because it's
Mhm.
not a chemical reaction. So as a result of this, the mixture would be formed. And if you want to separate it, so you can very easily. But in a compound, when you are forming compound, like you are going to form water, and suddenly your intention has been changed. Now you're thinking that I need reactants again. Oh my God, I did mistake. So you cannot reverse it. You cannot reverse it. Compounds cannot be
Mhm.
separated easily, but mixtures can be separated easily. That's the key point. So they are chemically combined, they are physically combined, they have a specific for compounds have a formula, but mixtures don't have any formula. Like if you will ask, sir, what is the formula for milk? I cannot
Mhm.
tell you.
Yeah.
Milk is not a compound, it's a mixture. Sir, what is the formula for seawater? I can't tell you. It's not a mixture, it's a compound. It's a mixture, it's not a compound. Because in a compound, the compositions are fixed. Like in water, we will always have two hydrogens and one oxygen. Always. It's fixed. So I can tell you the formula. And if you can talk about sodium chloride, so you have one sodium and one chlorine, that's the formula. So the composition is always fixed for the molecule for the formula. But since we know that in a mixture, nothing is fixed, like if you are going to take sample of seawater, so in some sample you will find more amount of sodium chloride, and in some sample you will not find more amount of sodium chloride, it would be having less amount of sodium chloride. So
Mhm.
the taste of that water would be less salty. And if you have some sort of sample you have taken from somewhere, so let's suppose the taste of that water would be more salty. So it depends on the quantity of salt that is dissolved in that compound. So that's why I'm saying mixture, the composition of mixture is not fixed. When the composition is not fixed, I don't know how much how much each and every substance present in that particular mixture. So I cannot give you, I cannot fix a number, I cannot tell any type of number like it's H2O, H3O, or H4O, or H1O. I can't say that. So that's why I have written there is no there is no chemical formula for the mixture, but the compounds have a specific formula,
Mhm.
and compounds cannot be separated easily, but mixtures can be separated easily. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have molecule. Then we have molecule. So what is molecule?
It's like from it's like two atoms or more, a combination of two atoms or more,
Sorry.
a combination between two atoms or more.
Combination of between two atoms or more. Okay. So, in a
Mhm.
molecule, this is also a chemical reaction. It's not a physical. It's not a physical. It's also a chemical change, because
Yeah.
molecule is formed by the chemical reaction. Like, you want to form hydrogen gas. So two hydrogen atoms two hydrogen atoms should join
Yeah.
with each other, so they can form hydrogen molecule. So combination of two atoms join together, it may be two, it may be more than two, because we have uh, types of
Mhm.
molecule. We have diatomic molecule as well. Like, you can see all the diatomic ones. Di means two, di means two, and
Mhm.
polyatomic. Poly means many. Di means two, and poly means many. So H2O,
Mhm.
it has three atoms. It's not a diatomic one. It's polyatomic. It's polyatomic. So, and furthermore, diatomic can be further classified into two. Like, if you hear that we have a diatomic molecule, so you can think further. So the two atoms are same or different. The two atoms are same or different.
Mhm.
So it may be same and it may be different. So can you give me an example of any molecule which has different atoms but
Different atoms, like two. What?
two atoms but different? Separate, like in oxygen, this is O2, OO, H2, HH, Cl2, ClCl, Br2, Br, I2, II, AT2, AT. Like, I'm asking,
Mhm.
the two atoms are different. It's not just like OO. It may be something like that, OF, like
Yeah.
HCl. H is different and Cl is different. Of course, this is also the molecule which is going to have the two atoms, but the atoms are different. So that's why I have classified the diatomic molecule into two. It should be like the maybe same atoms, and it consists of the different atoms. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see they are same and they are different. Of course, when the atoms are different, so the size would be different. Of course, common sense. When the
Mhm.
atoms are different, so the size would be different. So you will see somehow like that. And then okay, so you can see that you have to identify which one is formula, which one is compound, which one is molecule, which one is mixture, which one is element. Okay, so you must know this.
Mhm.
It's very easy, I think so.
Yeah.